Okay, I got a big time honor being an Englishman who've come to see the Seattle Sounders in Seattle, which is my hometown. We've got the Moose from TalkSport, huge 24/7 sports radio talk, great man, very popular. And we've got Henry Winter, who is one of my favorite journalists of all time. He works for the London Times and the Sunday Times, and he's a great writer. So, gentlemen, why are you here?
Well, there's so much interest in MLS in England now. You know, a lot of the games are shown live. So just reflecting that interest, and also, I mean, the game we went to yesterday, Moose was there as well. LA Galaxy at New York City, which was slightly weird seeing it. Was it the house that Babe built or rebuilt or whatever? I mean, it really was a little bit like watching the Rolling Stones in Westminster Abbey. You know, it was just because for me, as a layman looking from the outside, it's one of the iconic baseball, American, world sports games. So actually see English footballers there. I mean, I don't think I've ever seen so many caps on a pitch in a club, England abroad, with Gerrard over 100, Lampard over 100, Ashley Cole, probably England's most consistent player in the last 20 years, over 100. And I thought the standard was pretty good. So obviously, you know, we're travelling around reflecting that. We've heard great things from MLS and having sort of seen clips on television about the intensity of the atmosphere at a game like this, a derby game, obviously slightly further apart from what you and I are used to.
But Moose, TalkSport, I love being on with you guys, and we have fun.
You're great on there. I followed you the other night. Actually, you were on there, and then I was just coming out of the restaurant in New York with the MLS guys. So it was fantastic. No, I can only echo what Henry's been saying. I mean, it's been a fantastic insight over here. I mean, also seeing things like going into the dressing room after a game, like we did in New York yesterday. You know, you walk in and it's like star players just sitting there half undressed.
Yeah.
And you know, media just go up to them. And I thought it'd be like sort of, you know, I've covered World Cups and European Championships for the last 20 years for TalkSport. And, you know, sort of after a game, players come out. There's a media scrum. You know, sort of, you know, Alan Hinton will walk into the mix zone, and suddenly, you know, 50 journalists will want to hear what it's. Yeah, I walked into yesterday, New York City dressing room, and there were about 20 or 30 of us journalists there. And you know, one goes forward and does an interview, and then everyone kind of waits their turn. I thought it was very civilised, and I would love to see that bought in England. Of course, you're never going to get that bought in England. And I said to Henry yesterday, it was a hot day, and I said, you know what, I haven't seen a single injury yet. I haven't seen a drinks break. I haven't seen anybody dive to win a penalty. And Henry said, yeah, you know what, Moose, never catch on in England. So you've got a very special product here.
I think one of the reasons is that, you know, particularly in Seattle and in New York, you've got the NFL, which is huge. Yeah. The NFL is a institution big time. So soccer is very conscious of letting people in the locker room. I remember when I was here, we didn't get many journalists at practice.
Yeah.
And then I had a conversation with the coach of the University of Washington, Don James, and I said, what sort of practice did you have today, Don? He said, a closed door practice. And I told him, I said, what's that mean? He says, I lock them out, the media. I said, when they come to see mine, I lock them in until they agree to do a story. But that's how far the game's come. Yeah. Anyway, thank you for coming to Seattle, and enjoy the Sounders. It'll be a great game. Thank you very much. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Great to see you.
Appreciate it.